And now, The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder.
Suck it. I'll tell you what, Dan. Sometimes I walk into this building and I see a big list when we're getting ready to walk in.
Yeah.
It's up on a big screen.
Are you
Tells
talking about, when we walk into Sirius or the building?
In the Sirius.
Yeah.
The Sirius lobby. And you see that big sign up to TV screen. Shows you all the guests who were in today. It's a welcome. Welcome to... And sometimes you see ones on there where you're like, man, that would have been fun. And we just don't hear about him. Fred Schneider today, the B-52s. How funny it would be to interview him.
In a B-52
in
voice?
nonstop, just talking. It was, hello, Fred Schneider. Welcome to the Bonfire. We have a comedy program here. We talk shit on a radio program.
Yeah, you got to do Love Shack. It's all Love Shack tone. He's friends with Bennington, isn't he? I think
he
you
went
know
on.
our friend Rob.
We go back some years.
We all talk like this. He goes, no, you don't. Please stop doing that.
Doing what? We're just talking to a guest in our studio at Sirius XM.
I just sing behind you. I go, Bonfire!
Well, we're stuffed way back in Studio 5, out of all harm's way, within a windowless room. Black Lou on the phone calls. White Lou on the soundboard. Jacob running nervous.
Can you guys please
Christine's typing YouTube. The Love Shack.
He goes, guys, can you please stop up here? I'm here to talk about my terminal child.
What are you talking about? What is your new charity? Is this kid dying from cancer or AIDS?
He goes, it's bone disease.
Bones are important so people can start moving around and around and around and around.
Over 200, baby! Boom!
Platelets are slipping and I am fading into obscurity. Ho!
White T cells, baby! Hell yeah, and that's the reason we don't get certain guests.
I got a bus full of bald kids. It's as big as a whale, and it's about to go to see a Michael Jackson concert. Woo!
They're all about to check out in less than 3 months. They won't see another Christmas, baby!
He's not part of their Make-A-Wish. He's just the actual driver for the Make-A-Wish bus. I got a side gig driving sick kids to the circus.
He goes, I tell them that apartment complex won't be open until you're dead.
This is grim. This is
grim.
the Bonfire.
It got dark.
Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95. Big J. Okerson, Dan Soder.
Lacing up.
Dan's lacing up. He's zooting up for the big... Today's a fun show.
Suited and booted.
We're going to be leaving the live part of the show at 7:30.
Oh.
And then we're going to come back with our very exclusive, I'd say, as far as Sirius XM goes. He did Town Hall, I believe, and then we got him only, right? Nick Foles, Super Bowl 52 MVP quarterback.
Right.
Nick Foles came in and we got a chance to interview him.
I'm not there.
Dan was not there. Dan was on the couch figuring it all out.
I was up at therapy figuring shit out, and I was letting you three suck them off.
And
I didn't figure there was enough peg to go around.
We were lucky enough to be able, in Dan's absence, to get Ron Bennington and Gail Bennington here.
Unbelievable replacements.
To come in and, Philly people, huge Eagles fans to come in and
that
do the interview
afternoon,
with me.
that morning, Dan woke up and knew he had to go sit on a couch and talk.
There were troubles ahead.
But the Eagles of Philadelphia had a different plan. To talk to Jay, Christine, and Gail. I love does he say the Doc? Are you going to say the Doc thing?
The what?
With the Dawkins jersey?
No.
Okay. All right. That's just I think that's a funny thing.
No, it is funny. No, he did. You can tell that. It's fine. There's nothing really bad about it. But
he said that you had your Brian Dawkins jersey on, and he goes, sick, man. I'm going to have to tell Doc. And you're like...
He was going to have to tell Doc. I'm like, I mean, that seems like you're, one, probably not going to tell him.
Are you looking for...
And two, why would you tell him?
You want to be like, do you have a crush on him? Are you looking for a reason to call him?
Yeah.
He goes,
I'm going to call him.
you know when you like a girl and
you
when you like a girl and you just call her for no reason? You go, this is crazy. Remember that thing we talked about once?
I just found an Indian head penny on my floor.
Didn't you remember when I was giving you a ride home from work and you said something about that? I still am the worst at that.
Hey, wait,
if
what
I
do
like
they
a
say?
girl,
Hey,
I
what do
will
they-
find the dumbest reasons to text her.
Hey, I forget. What do they say the unlucky lighter color is? Yellow or white?
It's
white. I knew.
you know what?
I knew you'd know. I was telling my boy you would know.
And I said that. I go, she's got that knowledge. Let me call her up real quick. Yeah, I was going to buy a yellow one just to be safe. It's white, right? Yeah.
White's the unlucky one, right? I knew it. I fucking knew it.
What are you doing? It's always that.
Anyway, what's going on? You going away this summer? Or you gonna be hanging out?
Do the fucking shitty follow up. We're like, anyways. So what are you gonna do this weekend? You going to see your family?
Nick Foles got Christine soggy in the shorts. That's for goddamn sure.
Really?
She
Christine?
really. I think she figured out her thing. NFL quarterbacks.
Oh, just like Dak?
Oh my god, she boned up for him hard.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable to watch.
Actually, I mean, you can see a clit bump. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah.
She filled up.
Yeah, her pants
Do you
got tight.
fluff yourself and then put the condom on?
Yeah, if I have
Sometimes.
to.
I mean, most of the time I'm into it, so.
I'd like to already be hard by the time I pull it out. But good question, Christine.
During the blowjob that you're allowed to touch her tits and her boobs.
Uh-huh.
Babes.
Yeah, I mean, what am I going to do?
I just realized
Not?
that Christine says babe super surfer.
Bibs.
Hey, you got some sweet babes.
Play it again.
Tits and her boobs.
Bibs. Her bibs.
Christine says like, no, check out those big old babes.
Look at her tits and her bibs.
I mean, I'm a foos guy, so
Her
I like
boobs.
saying boob.
Her boob. Hey,
she
boobs.
She had big boobs.
She had big boobs. Hey, you guys are both mountain people.
Yeah, High Plains. There's a difference.
Boobs.
He's from Alt, Colorado, where my grandfather is from.
Grandpa.
She had great big boobs.
I'd like to open the show up today because I said we're not doing a ton live here, and we have some. We're doing an hour and a half live, I guess, but we have some fun things coming. We have a call coming in from Jeff Tomsic, who not only directed the new comedy that's in theaters now, Tag, starring John Hamm, Hannibal Buress, Ed Helms, and Jeremy Renner. Also, he directed everything from Ari Shafir's This Is Not Happening, several seasons of that he directed. Not all of them. I think all of them except maybe the last one or two.
Yeah, he didn't direct the one I was on, so that's fun.
And but he directed
Comedy Underground.
David Tell's Comedy Underground. He directed Kurt Metzger's White Precious special. He directed my Hour special on Comedy Central, and he directed The Degenerates, the show that I did on Netflix. So, been buddies with this guy for a couple years, and it's cool to see these things happening for him. We're going to call him in. He's going to promote the new movie Tag in theaters now. So we'll be talking to him at.
Guess who else? Sorry, but guess who else was in that movie?
Who else
I
was
saw
in
it. So who?
Sebastian.
Oh,
He was in that movie, actually.
he was
Yeah,
in Priest, I think.
actually, yeah, and really funny.
Yeah?
Sebastian was really funny. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I just want to apologize to everyone about Chicago dicks. We'll do that.
That's my Dan. I got to tell you, I was behind. I had your back on the whole, like, man, what an ordeal it is to put on high tops, but it's crazy you're still doing them.
Yeah.
This was something you started before we went live, and we are 11 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoned.
What's that? He goes, you got to take them all. I goes, these laces are. I got to take them all out and start from scratch.
Dude, I seriously was about to do that.
Trying to get. I don't know. They're all twisted up. Are they twisted up? Is that what's freaking you out?
Yeah, I
hate
can't
when-
see it. in the
I don't
dark.
buy laces that can twist up anymore.
They can twist up. How do you get ones that don't?
Get the laces that are like, the sort of round
Laces out,
ones.
Dan.
No, but the one that are sort of like round,
Yeah. Yeah, these are all sideways. These are all cocked.
I can't my orange Jordans that I wear.
Yeah.
You can't. The laces can't twist up in those.
Really?
No,
These ones are twisted.
there's like no right way for them. You know what I mean? It's not like a guitar strap. You know what I mean? Same thing where you have to get it like a certain way to lay right.
I would give these fucking laces a DUI if I
I'll be
could.
honest, just burn them. It's crazy you're still involved in it. I thought I was killing time because you were about to just start
Oh,
hitting
no,
the
I
loops.
didn't know. I didn't know.
You started over again.
I didn't know you want me to get
He's
into it.
like,
I thought we were
all right,
talking.
you know what? Let's just take this back to phase one. Let's just go back to phase one. Step one.
I leave here with
Foot in shoe.
I leave here.
Check.
I just leave here with one shoe off.
Because you know what? I don't have the patience to figure it out right now.
I threw it. I threw the goddamn shoe. I just threw it out the fucking on the roof.
Jacob, have you calmed down? You had a very exciting day yesterday. There still seems to be an inordinate amount of pylons in this room.
Dude, my favorite.
Hardy comes back and tries to Garfield window sticker these walls with his dick again.
Dude, I got up to pee this morning, and on my way back to my bed from the bathroom, I started laughing, thinking about Jacob and Christine going, Ari, no! Ari, down! Ari,
Ari, no! Ari! Ari, no!
Oh, my God. That was fucking great. Could you guys pull that clip for me?
I could pull it on the commercial.
Yeah.
We found out someone tried to stool pigeon us. Real nice.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of fun stuff to talk about yesterday. I'll say if you listened yesterday, I apologize, or say you're welcome, depending on how you felt about it. But it was definitely a discombobulated show, but holy shit, if not funny. I would have liked to spend much more time on. I just feel the energy in the room at that point with Ari's dick
out
and a married couple's bookending him. Weird time to go into that "This Is My Mom" song, because it deserved way more fun than it got.
Yeah, it really didn't. I mean, did we find another clip of it on Hulu where we can actually hear the song? Because I was enjoying it, and I feel like Rich and Bonnie weren't, and I feel like Ari's very naked.
Listen, they have these joke auditions, and stuff, and this is definitely played up and whatever. But I believe this guy. This guy is like a doofus who really believes, because I believe he's a guy who has money, probably does not get laid. I believe he's very oddly into his mom.
Okay, a little Oedipus theory, huh?
It's very odd.
Wants to kill his dad, fuck his mom. Right, Jacob? Huh? You get it.
Well, he said he's saying, Mother, I want to fuck you all night long, baby.
Oh. Smelling some Jim Morrison shit?
Father, yes,
man,
son,
just patting his
I
back.
want to kill you.
Oh, here he is.
Nerves are good. Nerves are good. It gives you the energy you need to perform.
He's always been an extremely special human being that's been incredible being his mom.
Pause it. This is an America's Got Talent
this is so
audition. For those of you that didn't check in yesterday because you couldn't hear because Ari's dick was blocking your ears. Such an impressive
I didn't see this part because we pulled it up on Hulu, which is more of the clip. But there's something.
No,
about,
this is Hulu.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
this is on
yeah.
Hulu, so you see more of the clip. There's something very uncomfortable about a mother that's supportive. That's just too supportive. You can go the wrong way. You can be like where my mom is at, where nothing's good enough.
Look, my
or
mom...
you can be this, where it's like, hey, lady, you need to back the fuck up off me. I'm not this. I'm glad I have the opposite. I'm glad I have I'll show you that drive, as opposed to I'm mommy's angel. Because then you just don't understand.
But now she believes in it, so it is nice to win them at some point.
Nah, well, you don't know Trish.
My mom, really?
I'm still trying to win. I mean, dude, she'll give me Billions recaps, and she'll just talk about how great everyone else is, and I'll be like, all right, well, I'll talk to you next week. And she's like, yep, season's good. You're like, yeah, it is. Yeah, Paul Jim. Yeah. She goes, I like Ben Kim the best. I'm like, yeah.
She's like, you kept up with him, sort of.
I go, yeah, I like Dad the best, but that didn't work out either. So
my mom's pretty supportive. My mom's pretty supportive now.
Dude, I told you, man, when I got my second Conan, and I told my mom, I go, I'm doing Conan on April 19th. She goes, when are you doing Fallon?
That's hilarious.
You're like, well, by the way, I was like...
It's probably important that you went to that couch instead of Nick Foles.
Yeah, dude, I told my mom, I go,
Nick Foles' parents really believed in him.
Yikes. But that kind of creeps me out. I'm saying the opposite creeps me out. The opposite's like, I know my perspective. I couldn't have that perspective.
I was saying a mother's love is really a dangerous thing because it's
what?
so it really.
That sounds like a thriller that's coming out this October.
It does.
Mother's love.
So there's something a girl has to say to herself when her mother passes away. It's overrated. It's stupid
I've lived
anyway.
most of my life without it.
Yeah.
So moms really see their kid. It's weird because it can go that way where
what would you have been if you had a mom? You think that would have been more dangerous?
She'd be married in California right now.
I would have been supported.
You explain to 4 guys in this room what crack's all about.
It's just rose-colored glasses looking at your child, and it's like I feel like moms do. It's like it's probably great and it's probably a really fun thing to have, but
I would say on average, the people that are overloved by their moms are assholes.
Yeah, the overbearing thing can be weird. Well, overbearing tends to make weirdos.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's a weirdo.
A weirdo, maybe more than assholes. This guy doesn't strike me as an asshole, but he definitely strikes me as a fucking weirdo.
So you get weirdo or asshole, bro. That's what you get with mommy love.
But my mom was never this kind of mom. But my mom, she said she came out to Vegas for the Netflix thing and stuff.
Dude, my mom came out to Philly for my special.
Sure,
so she's
but
supportive.
not in lieu of when you did your Philly special, you had a girlfriend. She was there. You had me and a couple other buddies there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like not in lieu of just me and my mom are going to
Dude, that's so weird.
By the way, there's things you can do with just your mom. I would do something with just my mom.
Yeah, I go to the movies with her around Christmas and always yell at her for the way she treats the people behind the counter.
But absolutely,
I always go, Trish, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm sorry, I ordered a medium and I didn't think she heard me. She did hear you. And you look like a cunt right now.
Mom!
Yeah, there's a lot of, Mom!
I had that guy that I puppy dogged around for 2 years. I was just thinking about this. I never heard somebody be so awful to their mother.
Oh, that's great.
Joe DeRose is the best.
His mom was like his mom was also like, look, she wasn't a very great mother. She's an alcoholic. But I mean, him on the phone with her, we were on a bus back, and he was like, Mom, no, the way he was talking to her, I was like, oh my God, I don't want anyone to know that I associate with this guy that talks to his mother like that.
If you hear me on the phone with my mom, you would think we're on a bowling team together. Because I'm like this, I'm like, hey. She's like, hey. Like, you all right? Yeah. And then 5 minutes of conversation, she goes, yeah, all right. I'll talk to you next week. I go, we got don't we have the lane torpedoes on Thursday, right? All right, I'll be there. I'm going to bring my wrist restraint. But when you hear your friends talk shitty to their mom, it is kind of weird when they're like, dude, DeRose, shut up!
DeRose is a lot.
Yeah, I stayed with him.
I like Christine.
Mom.
I was more taken by the fact that Christine was puppy dogging a guy that made her get on a bus back with him.
You are?
I'm gonna puppy around this guy. He goes, listen, I don't have enough to pay for your bus ticket, but I'll get my bus ticket. We can sit together.
He goes, all right. He goes, do you like Megabus or Peter Pan? I'm gonna let you choose. One's $5 and one's $28. So say Peter Pan.
My mom was certainly never overbearing. She was too busy to beat. But
my mom would have been if she was healthy. Oh my God, I had a mom that was like, I was the light of her life. Everything revolved around me. Everything I did was perfect. But she also like couldn't move or give me physical affection. So there's a toss up.
So
had she been healthy,
you have no idea
what.
If she would have been
That's true. I have no idea what kind of mom she would have been, but she was very, very excited to be a mom. Like, she probably would have been the Girl Scout troop leader and PTA mom and all that stuff, and she couldn't be.
I like to picture if she was alive, it'd be one of those things like we went to go visit, and you were like, I'm going to run to the store. You guys get to know each other. And then she hits on me really hard, and then we did it.
Oh, that's a sensual fantasy.
Yeah.
I think the best part of that for Christine is that her mother's alive in that fantasy.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
And then Christine comes in.
Fun, Mommy?
Yeah. That's like if I had a girlfriend go like, you know what I'm really thinking? If your dad was alive, I'd just like suck his dick when you left. And I go, my dad's going to be alive?
My dad alive too?
Put it like back like...
Shaping my
I like
mom.
the picture that I met your dad when I went to
again.
your special, and then for some weird reason,
You guys
brought me into a closet, and we started kissing, and he was like, what are we doing here? And I was like, I don't know, man. Let's not even overthink it.
And you go, Gary, are you wearing underwear? He goes, I never do.
Does it feel right to you?
He goes, welcome to Margaritaville.
He'll go, how does it feel to you, Jay? And I'll go, it feels really heavy in my hand.
He goes, yeah. That's what Dan said too. I molest him.
And then he goes,
I fuck my own kid. I go, what
like,
a dark twist, huh?
And Dan's like, but he's alive. Also, he was sober during that.
Yeah, you go. And by the way, he was 3 years sober.
So just, this was just two guys feeling an emotion for each other. Same thing, Christine, your mom, I swear to you, healthy as a fucking show horse.
Strong.
In this situation, I'm just plowing her when you walk in, but you get into it. You're into some weird Armenian shit.
Gross. I don't like this scenario. I know you're joking.
I like Jay takes he takes incest Brazzers style where he goes, so you walk in and you see me sucking your dad's dick, Dan. Now look at me.
Now you don't like it at first, but you're not leaving.
And you go, I want to taste. And so you get down with me.
You're even closing your eyes. You're even closing your eyes with that half open thing.
Never in my life did I think my boyfriend would be explaining a dead mom threesome fantasy.
Yeah. That's how you shock people where a girl goes, what are you into? I'm into like fucking nasty shit. And I go, you'd be sucking my dead dad's dick.
I'm still calling her mom. Also, I'm going, mom. Christine's going to be back. Mom.
You know how some people have like their whole like kind of their existence like pure sexuality, and they're like, baby, I want it so bad.
They're called Puerto Ricans, Dan.
You know, Puerto Ricans are like that, but really just fucked them up with their mind. Like you did like something dark like that, and you'd be like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Like, so then I walk in, and she's like,
I don't like it. Yeah. I had an aunt that didn't talk to her daughter since she died about 10 years ago, but her and her daughter hadn't talked since 1985 because she slept with her daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Christine and her mom just bobbing at my dong like the last flake in an aquarium, the last fish flake.
Christine's just throwing up all over the keys. Oh, that's all over. That's in the keyboard. Oh, that's gross. That's in the key.
Oh, Christine, are you gagging? What's wrong? You can't handle the whole thing? I'll only put it in halfway now.
We
There
all
you
look
go.
over.
That's better.
Jay's actually masturbating in the studio. He's like, oh.
I'm doing all the voices like Norman Bates.
Yeah, you go, no, Jay.
Just 2 octaves of the same laugh.
Are you just doing Goat Boy? Hit play, but this support is creepy.
Always do a really good job.
This is by far the biggest stage I've ever performed on, and I cannot wait to get out there.
And fuck my mom on the stage. I'm like, ew, that's his talent.
Hi, welcome. What's your name, please?
I'm Dr. Steven Eisenberg. How are you?
Are you really?
Yes, I'm an oncologist, and I write songs for my patients to help them heal.
Wow.
And where are you from?
San Diego, California.
Obvi.
And why did you decide to come on the show this year?
I wanted to do something for my patients. They say, you've got to get out there and spread this message of love to the world.
That's amazing.
I don't think this is his patients would say anything to make him go away out of the room.
And he's not from
He's like,
San
do you
Diego.
want me to sing a song about this? And you're like, no, please. I think I need rest.
He goes, I wrote a song about your cancer. And you go, can you please stop?
No, it's it's a jaunty one.
It's also about my mom too. You go, I'm dying.
What does this have to do with my cancer? He goes, no, I say the word cancer in it.
But that's really, it's just real quick, just a rhyme.
And what's the song you're going to sing?
It's an original song about my number one fan, my mother.
I go up there, I go, this is a song about the woman that inspires me to be better. She fucking hates me, so I hate her too. It's called Trish. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are never impressed. You are never impressed. I'll fight you. I'm gonna be my own person. He goes, and then she comes out there. She goes, I told you, you suck. You suck.
You never were, you're never gonna be.
You're never gonna be nothing. Hey, I ain't no bums. Yeah, fight Spider Rico.
Hey, Mom, I got a Showtime show, but I ain't got no locker, do I, Mom?
I ain't got no.
I ain't got no locker no more, do I,
You're
Mom?
15th on the call sheet. You're barely on the show.
Are you 15? I know what that means. Are you 15?
15. I'm 15.
This guy's not from
I was
San
in a
Diego.
small cast show, and I was still like,
Yeah.
I was like 11 out of 12.
Yeah. When you're like,
shit, that's so funny. You see how the calls you your importance.
There you go.
It's funny, they tell you that the next day, you're like, hey, you don't have to be here until noon. He goes, you guys aren't starting until noon? He goes, no, we're starting at like 4 in the morning. We don't need you. Those are the big stuff. That's the big stuff.
That's what it is. Like,
But there was a small garbage pail fire in the thing. You're going to be in a scene with that.
Dude,
But just
I
walk
love
up, you're running from the fire. You're afraid of it.
Yeah.
A woman fixes the problem.
you pee sitting down in the seat. It's not in the script. And they go,
You have a guy so much it tears your rotator cuff.
what?
Yeah, you're very. That's one of the things about Maffei. His arms are very brittle. His bones are set.
He has bird bones. So we wrote that in season 4.
So this is for his number one fan, his mom.
Thank you.
We're just playing this so the song sticks in everyone's head, right?
Oh, dude.
Because Rich, Bonnie, and Ari, we didn't get it.
Got to the office today. Patients are coming my way.
It's so hopeful.
Trying to sing them a song. Something's wrong. It's my mom.
Something's wrong. It's my
I
mom.
left my East Coast nest. Moved out on my own out west. Trying to start anew.
No, B wouldn't know good music if it slapped her in the twat.
Hold on.
Whenever I turn around.
Yeah?
My mom's somewhere to be found.
This is a national anthem for Heidi Klum. Turn it up.
This is my mom. This is my mom.
What a Jew.
Won't you take her?
Please won't you take her? I don't know what was happening in this song. The lyrics don't make any sense.
Yeah,
the patients are coming my way. Something is wrong. It's my mom. It's like they're running from your mom.
Yeah, they go, my mom's a zombie again.
She makes me some matzo ball soup, and then she cleans my poop.
He goes, take her, please.
Please, somebody do something about her.
I'm gonna murder her.
Put her down in the ground. This is my mom. Do it now. This is my mom.
I mean,
I'm pointing at her. This is what I'm talking about. This is my mom. Take the shot. Take the shot.
It's clear.
This is my mom.
She has, motherfucker can write a chorus.
The guy definitely knows how to write a hook.
And everyone that's like, this is fucking stupid, why are they covering the song again? Good luck in 30 minutes. Or after the show, 30 minutes after the show where you're walking around going, this is my mom.
This is my mom. Send us videos from your 4th of July barbecues where you sing that.
Yeah, can you ruin whoever's grilling for you and just send us video of you singing going, or your mom.
Like, all right, Derek, we get it. We get it. But he goes, wait, hang on. She's always there to be found. This is my mom. Derek, please. Won't you take her?
This is my mom. Then fire a fucking bottle rocket at her.
This is my mom. Oh, God. Derek, what are you doing?
Stop it. I was talking to your father. That is my mom.
This is my mom. Let's take our first break. What do you say?
Yeah.
Come back,
also, we didn't. But before we take a break, we didn't get to it yesterday. But really funny comedian passed away.
Yeah.
Sean Rouse.
Never seems like the right time to say because it is bummer news.
It's bummer news. We might as well do it before the commercial. So it's like,
yeah.
It's he was a on the road with Stanhope. He has sets on Down and Dirty with Jim Norton on HBO. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube.
He toured with Attell for years.
He was Attell's
definitely
opener
Attell
for years.
protege also, and
fucking hilarious. He's a really fucking
super funny guy.
Yeah, I didn't know him.
He
was a fan.
Wrestling with health stuff for a long, long time, and he passed this weekend. So
yeah, rest in peace.
It was a bummer
Sean
for
Rouse.
Attell taping a special at the same time. I know that was a bummer.
Yeah, he was Stanhope's guy too, and just a really fucking funny dude. And if everybody that I knew that knew him said the same thing. He was just upfront, funny, didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
great
sure.
hang.
Texas guy.
Yeah.
Great dude, man. The limited times I met him, he was very, very nice guy.
So go watch his stuff. Keep his comedy alive and go watch some Sean Rouse.
Rest in peace, Sean Rouse. We'll be right back. This is the Bonfire.
And now, back to the Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder.
That plays the Dunkin' Donuts.
Beat of breakfast.
You're listening to Donut Radio.
I'll have a chocolate frosted, please.
That's a
and
bunch.
a side of AC/DC's Back in Black.
Hey, you're listening to Bear Claw and Bon Jovi Hour.
It's the Bonfire. Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95. Big J. Okerson, Dan Soder on our phone lines right now. We have the director of the new film Tag in theaters now. My buddy, Mr. Jeff Tomsick. Jeff!
Yeah.
What's up, dude? Were you beating up the beat?
Oh, man, I was jamming to that. I got into a real pensive mood. Thinking about my feelings in life.
Yeah, it's one of those introspective club songs. Those club songs, I hear those club songs. Has anybody ever written lyrics for a song like that you are hyper emotional? I mean, there's such songs to just bounce your dong into a girl's yoga pants butt cheeks, and then somehow the girl's like, "This is really about the loss of my grandmother."
Yeah, I think they try to do that.
I really miss you, Nana. I wish that you were here. You taught me how to garden in the backyard. Jeff's going to talk to you. Do you know Dan at all? Have you and Dan Soder? You guys definitely know, of course.
We haven't seen each other forever, but we shot something a million years together. How you doing, Dan?
What's up, dude?
What did you guys shoot?
We shot with Jay for this series.
Oh yeah, dude. I met my fucking ex-girlfriend on that shoot with Jay.
Yeah. I watched you work so much game. It was
Thank you.
It was incredible.
I was still smoking cigarettes. I was a bad boy back then.
Oh, you were such a bad boy.
Yeah.
You had a motorcycle.
Yeah. Good news is
you guys dated for years, right? After that?
Yeah. She slowly drove me insane. So you could have helped me. So thanks, Jeff.
That happened. I'll take responsibility.
Yeah, I blame you. I blame you this entire time. Since we broke up in 2015.
I was very supportive.
I was like, Jeff fucking submarined me and got me into a relationship for 2.5 years.
Jeff, of course, directed.
2.5 years.
He directed several seasons of Ari Shafir's This Is Not Happening. Ari came in yesterday, fully nude into the studio in Sirius XM.
Straight up buck-ass naked.
Really sent.
I'm not surprised. I'm 100% sure that actually happened. Every year that we shot This Is Not Happening, I would be turning the camera and just find his enormous ball sack.
Yeah, dude, it's big. I've realized it's the size of a grizzly bear's heart. That's how big his balls are.
I tell you what.
If you kill Ari, you have to rip off his balls and eat it raw.
Good news is that you get his power, though.
That's his Highlander kill.
Yeah. Are you eating Ari Shafir's testicles?
I've come from Scotland to take your dick and ye power.
I'm the final one, Ari. Give me your balls.
I'm here for the quickening. Jeff, I've been seeing the first cuts of the Degenerates that we just did. Jeff also, as I said earlier, directed the Degenerates that we're doing on Netflix. And I haven't seen the whole Oceans, like the whole kind of beginning thing we shot.
Oh, I thought I showed that to you when I was in New York.
No.
I can't wait for you to see it. It is pretty badass.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jeff,
everyone is super cool.
Yeah, if you guys watched Ari Shafir's This Is Not Happening, all those intros they did, Jeff directed too. Those way over the top intros for a stand up comedy show, which is why I love Jeff. He goes for it.
I do this to myself. It always seems like a great idea while I'm writing this insane stuff. And then, like, when we shot that Degenerates, I came from, I think, like, 2 straight days of press interviews for TAG. Had slept for, like, 2 hours, and then we shot 1 million things at a casino.
Oh, that's just got to be a rattling with all the noise going on and just fucking ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling. You just go fucking nuts.
I had a chance. Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
No, like it's one thing to be like trapped in a casino if you're like drunk and gambling, but if you're just like standing there waiting for shots to happen, it's not the same. It's not the same experience.
Oh no, it is not the same vibe at all. Mm-hmm. It was such a hot day. It was just like 115 every day or something.
Yeah,
myself, it was like record highs.
But we
terrible.
It was a fun day of shooting actually, and it was ultimately ended up being great. I know from just the parts I saw, it looks unbelievable. Everyone killed it on the show. I had a chance to screen TAG with you in town a couple weeks ago. I absolutely loved it. A bunch of comics went and checked it out in like a late midnight screening. We just BYOB'd it. It was a lot of fun. And the movie's hilarious, man. It's great. It was cool to see. I think he used Hannibal wonderfully for kind of being his first like major role.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Hannibal just kills in the movie too. It's great.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner was fantastic. He was like a surprise comedy guy that I thought he was.
I always like that. I like when you see guys that are like awesome actors be really good at comedy too, because you're like, fuck yeah, man. There's like certain guys.
It's crazy to have like a guy who's been nominated for 2 Academy Awards, and then just like put him into like a big comedy.
Yeah,
just like here's some dick jokes, man.
Yeah, I always liked it when Brad Pitt can be funny, and you wouldn't think that. You're like, Brad Pitt's the most handsome dude in the world, and then he like does something fun, like he does like.
Well, his first thing is you have to get over the anger that it's like, is this guy funny too?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, and you're like, oh, cool, he is.
If you're that handsome, you should just like let us have something else.
Jeremy Renner, particularly too. I've seen him interviewed on Stern. Jeremy Renner is on top of being a good-looking guy. Who's probably I'm sure it's easy for it to rain puss on him. He also like builds houses by hand. And stuff.
Cool!
It's like crazy.
It's like the Owen Wilson character in Meet the Parents.
Yeah, it's exactly
like
that.
Fucking perfect. Cool, dude.
He's the one that used to be a makeup artist, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a makeup artist before he was an actor.
He did our friend Michelle, who did
wedding.
a musical. He did he was her wedding makeup artist.
Jeremy Renner was?
When was that?
long time ago.
I didn't even know this fact, and I think, Christine, until you told me.
Yeah, it was like 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Or 17 years ago.
He doesn't talk about it. Right, but when he played Jeffrey Dahmer.
He did?
Oh, yeah, he played Dahmer in a movie.
Yeah.
What?
He was Dahmering during the day, makeup artist at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a dual threat.
It's got to be a weird thing to go from. He goes, all right, now make out with his corpse. All right, Jeremy, and then you're going to act like you're dumping him into the canister of boric acid. And
Jeremy,
cut. That's a wrap on Jeremy, everybody, tonight. We're gonna thank I got to get out of here. I got a bat mitzvah. I got to get to.
Yeah, I got a 13-year-old that wants some smoky eye. This is going to be tough. It is weird to think that he, like, playing Jeffrey Dahmer's got to be hilarious, where he goes, "Is this real brains?" And they go, "It's not. It's pork. It's pork. Is pork okay?" We boiled some pork. Oh, is this him as
Jeffrey Dahmer? Oh, he looked the part. He was great.
Oh, wow. Look at the haircut.
He was really, I mean, he is an incredible actor. And I he's just a regular dude. So it's not surprising that he had to have a shit job doing wedding makeup while he was coming up playing serial killers.
Yeah, but I like that story when you hear someone had to do a bad job on the way up. That makes me, for some reason, just really enjoy their work more. Because you're like, they're probably happy they're there.
And particularly, he's great. Was he easy to work with? I mean, I guess you have to say.
Yeah, he was incredible. He's the best guy, and he's just like, that's the thing about when I talk to him about doing this. He's like a regular dude. He's like, I want to do something, that like my old friends would watch because I'm in all this serious, bleak, prestigious shit. He's like, I want to do something, for my friends.
He's like,
he came up from nothing.
He's like, Jeff, hang on. I got to call you back. I'm getting ready to cut the ribbon on this new wing of a children's hospital I built. Like, wow, this guy's great.
And he goes, oh, man. And he goes, I don't mean to be a dick, dude. I got to put you on speakerphone. I got to nurse this baby grizzly bear I found away from its mother. I'm just feeding it some milk real quick.
I would not be surprised about any of this. He's a goddamn angel, that man.
He's too good of a guy.
He's funny, which is also annoying.
He's supposed to be just not funny at all. And then you go, wow, I'll be the funny guy, Jeremy. You just make sure the chicks come around. We just watched an America's Got Talent video clip of a guy singing a song to his oddly emotionally attached to him mother. I was wondering, as you've now hit your stride in show business, Jeff. This is your first feature film, I know. You've been doing TV stuff for a while. You're a hot young director in the world. I'm assuming your mother is still with us. Was your mother an overbearing, super supportive, or like, go ahead, you're not going to make it? And now that's my story more. My mom was kind of like, I mean, you give it a whirl if you want, but you should have a backup plan. Don't have high hopes. Now she's like very supportive, my mom, but never overbearing. Dan's mom Dan is her fourth favorite character on Billions.
Yeah, she goes through the main character. When I'm on the screen, she can only criticize the way I say lines.
Dan, you're also my fourth favorite character.
Hey, fourth ain't so bad.
That's not bad for a person who's not your mom. It's a fantastic thing if it's not your mom.
For a young hot director in Hollywood, that's pretty good. For the woman that bore me, that's pretty bad. Being the only child that crossed through that birth canal, and I'm still 4 on the list. Ouch.
Oh, you're an only child too.
Yeah. That's why I'm a real fucking weirdo.
A little bit. Well, you have a lot to live up to, which is good. I mean, my mother, she's not overbearing, but she's super supportive. But also, she always held me to this high standard, so I feel like I could never totally please her. So I get that. My father, and now she's very pleased, and she came to the premiere as my date and was very adorable.
Trish will have to buy a ticket at my first premiere.
The thing about my mom also, I think I think it wears thin on her after a while. So I think she comes out of the gates like, if it makes sense, I feel like she would have given more, or did give more hype and kudos to when I'd be on like BET's Comic View, because it was like early and I was young, and she was like, "Wow, you're on TV." Where I think now there's probably more chance of like a critique of the actual show. Like I just couldn't. I didn't like the show. We didn't stay with it. She would tell me that. Not that she goes, I love your parts and everything's great. But I mean, my mom, I was on a TV show for 2 years. There's not a chance my mom has seen every episode of Z-Rock.
Really?
There's not a chance.
I've seen every episode. Can I be your mom now?
I've seen every episode of Z-Rock.
That's it. Jeff and I are your new parents, Jay.
Can you guys be my mom and dad?
So Jeff will be dad, I'll be mom.
Jay, I will always love you and always watch all your episodes.
I think you could do better.
I promise you.
Will you walk me down the aisle to marry Christine?
I don't want to be involved in this. I'm leaving.
I'm out of here.
I met a new man. He's Spanish. He does things to me that your father can't. I'm out of here.
Jay and I do have a deep love for each other.
We do.
But I think it's good that your mother is critical. I mean, at least that's honest. When you get her, you know you've killed.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's a very good point, Jeff, because it really is like they know you better than anybody. So when they are like, hey, that was really good, you're like, all right, I believe you. And then I feel good about it.
Yeah, but Dan's good to his mom in a way that's like she should almost like feel bad like she owes a date some pussy or something.
Yeah, goddamn right.
It's like, for the stuff he does for her, you think she'd be like,
up some of that love, lady.
My mom's watched me open for a tell where a tell's crushing in a theater before, and my mom still says that she thinks I'm the best comedian in the world.
Yeah.
That's what's supposed to happen, sort of. You're not supposed to. So my mom will tell me, like, she's not a fan of the show, but she'll almost be like, her way of getting out of having to watch all of Z-Rock will be like, the show, they didn't use you enough.
Yeah.
By the way, Christine also has not seen every episode of Z-Rock.
I have.
So will you be my girlfriend too, Dan?
Goddamn right I will. I'll be your mom girlfriend any day.
I will be your preacher,
this really
teacher, anything you have in mind. How about your dad? Is your dad super psyched for you?
Yeah, but my dad is more like Dan's mom, where he was like, he's like, I guess you're doing okay. I think like he came to the premiere for Tag and was like, maybe still get that engineering degree.
That's so fucking funny. You direct a major Hollywood movie and he goes, I mean, you can still go back to school.
You tell him what you made. You tell him what you made for the movie, and he goes, after taxes, you can't even buy a house with that these days.
He goes, I'll tell you this. You know the Epsteins from down the street? Well, Adam's a CPA now. He pulls in that every year.
Oh, so. I had a lot of just luckily my surrounding close friends when I was growing up, several of them. Like, you're killing it if you work at the mall still and aren't on heroin.
Oh,
that's
good.
So, like, my mom didn't have a bunch of friends to hold me up to, and relatives, really. But every once in a while, there was one that just, like, so-and-so, I just saw your old friend so-and-so works at the hospital now with me. And they're working, not a doctor or anything, but just like a job where it's like, drives us a Chrysler 300. That's pretty cool. I think goes to Aruba once a year. That's pretty exciting.
I got blown out in my 20s. All my friends were like being real people, and I was like, I'm sleeping on a couch in Hoboken at like 24, and they're like,
he's like, Dan, I'm sorry, I'm getting fitted for a vest right now.
There you go. Let me call you back, dude. But it was one of those things where they're like, hey, we want to do this thing. Can you afford it? And I'd be like, I don't think so. And they're like, can someone pay for soda? And I'd be like, thanks, guys. And then now it's kind of like, hey, you guys want me to pick up bowling? Like, it took me a while to catch up.
Jeff, you're a single guy, yeah?
I am single.
Oh, this has to.
I was going to say, I was going to say I have like both those sides of my friends. And like I was broke in my 20s while all my friends were getting PhDs. But also some of them were in prison for attempted murder. So
yeah, hell yeah.
I had a little bit of rope with my parents. You're like, well,
yeah, depending on who you wanted to be, depending on where you wanted to go in the conversation. Like if they're like, your friends are shitty people, you go, yeah, Mom, well, they're going to be doctors. And then it's like, Jeff, why aren't you becoming something? You go, what I could be is in jail for attempted murder.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's absolutely true. I do too. That makes for an interesting personality person, I think, when your world revolves. I have friends, definitely jail people and lawyers, deans of colleges. Like
I'm only friends with rabbis.
And then flat out guys who are my age who still deliver pizza. It's like it really was all over the place.
Yeah, I grew up like one block over the right side of the tracks. So like half my friends are like lawyers and doctors, and
the other ones are black.
Like,
I'm kidding.
25.
Don't answer
that. But most of those guys actually like dug themselves out of that shit now are doing great. And it was cool. It's like I went home to my hometown like the day the movie opened, and all these guys that like had a pretty fucked up lives or like have like a bunch of kids have managed to like become like stable, happy, great people. So, and I hadn't seen them for years. So, I guess everyone's doing all right.
Do you have the friends calling now though to do like that's Tracy Morgan described that to me when I worked with him years ago, Caroline's.
Yeah.
He was like, one thing that's tough about being where he's from and getting famous is that you end up having, it's like MC Hammer, you got to employ 75 people.
Yeah. You got to bring a lot of people with you.
Like you have to, or you're going to be so shit on. But I've never had to deal with like a bunch of phone calls. Like, I mean, yeah, you know what? I'm lying. I have. I've had like a handful of people call and do like you don't need like security or something? Or like tour management? You don't need me to like, well, I can do graphic design work for you. And you're like, yeah, I mean, you do graphic design? It's like, figure it out, man. It's just a stupid computer.
Yo, man, I got these skills. Let me be your travel agent.
Exactly.
You're not going to be my travel agent.
I don't think I've hit that level yet. I've only hit the level of like people DMing me on Instagram with their scripts. Like,
yeah,
but
dude.
that's the equivalent. That's the director's equivalent of that. Well, dude, read this, and then I'll see you at brunch on Sunday when you're going to want to meet with me.
I go,
I'm sure.
Also, Jeff, if you want to just discard my DM with my audition tape on it, just get rid of that. I didn't mean that. I was drunk. I don't drink, but I was drunk.
Yeah.
I had a friend call up and just straight up be like, yo, can I get $4,000? He just fucking,
Jesus.
He didn't even call me. He texted me.
He goes, for what? He's like, well, yeah, I maybe, man, $4,000 for what? He goes, am I going to get the third degree, dude? $4,000 or not?
Dude, I swear to God, it was almost like that.
Really?
Yeah, he texted me. He goes, hey, man, listen, what's up? Hope you're doing good. Don't mean to be like this, but can I get $4,000? And I was just so blown away with it. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I know, sucks. I hate asking. And I'm like, why?
I hate asking.
Why'd you do that?
Oh.
How good of a friend.
I mean, we were real close back in the day.
Yeah.
Not anymore. How much is your friendship worth? I guess $4,500.
It was $2,000.
Yeah.
That's how much that friendship was worth. Because I literally thought about it, and I go, I'm going to offer him $2,000. If he says yes, we're done. And he said yes. Fucking mailed it to him. I
had a comic kind of give me a
later
sad
Gator,
story, and I gave him a couple grand too. It was a comic who I don't even like. No, like very, very well.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I did it. I thought it was the right thing to do at the time, but and it was super thankful. But it's like,
But this was just a weird one because it was like dude, you texted me. We grew up together, and you can't even call me and be like, yo, man, here's the deal. Here's what I'm going through. Here's where I can need help. And I was like, I was so caught off guard that I was like, 2? And he was like, yeah, that's awesome. And then, dude, I swear,
you ended up negotiating.
I know. I go, I'll give you 1 and some time to hang out when I come home. Here was the shit that I was almost like, I mailed the check, and then I got the text of, hey, man, just seeing if the check's in the mail. You're like, yeah.
Oh, you got that a follow-up text?
You got the follow-up. The follow-up text is where you're like, fuck you, man.
Jeez. How long has it been since you heard from this guy?
I mean, sporadically. I would say before you asked for the money, 6 months to a year. Maybe last time I was home.
Jesus, that's gonna be awful.
Yeah, wow.
Shit.
I don't know how I would handle that.
Do you have your friends? Good.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jeff, do you have friends yet who don't? Again, it's a funny thing being in entertainment at all is without knowing any kind of specific numbers. Like you just kind of know the level of what things go for, what people make in terms of what's happening for them. Mm-hmm. But like people where you're from may never know that. Where's your hometown, Jeff?
Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Hell yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You're getting the guys like, maybe we'll come over. You can't let us come over and swim one of your front yard or backyard pools. Like, they don't know what's happening.
I'm always amazed when people say,
why don't you fucking fly me? I've had people say to me, goes, why don't you fly me there, dude? Like, you probably got a plane or, like fly. It's like, fly you to something.
Well, people give me that all the time because they're like, dude, how do you not buy an apartment? I'm like, what?
Yeah, what do you think's happening here?
I live with Vecchione. I love Vecchione. Do I love living with him? Yeah, but it's also still kind of a necessity. Like, I'm not doing well enough that I can be like, later, I'm living by myself in a luxurious palace. I'm like, nah, man, I need a roommate. I live in New York. It's fucking expensive.
I don't know how many movies I'd have to be in before I see a doorman in a building and be like, I shouldn't be here. I'm trash.
Dude, I laughed at a lady. I went to go do this a podcast with Norman, and we were in this like girls' grandma's building that was like pretty wealthy on the East East Side, and I was waiting for Norman in the lobby, and this woman recognized me from Billions, and she goes, "Oh, are you going to buy a place here?" And I went, "What?" that was my only response. I go, "What?" And she goes, "But," and she got embarrassed and walked away. I was like, "Oh no, I meant to say like I can't afford. How much do you think they pay the 15th guy on the call sheet?"
Yeah, that people don't understand. As soon as you're on a show, they assume that you have millions of dollars.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm
no.
Like walking around to friends' places being like, how do they buy this house? I don't understand.
My dad almost broke several years radio silence on me when he heard I was on BET's Comic View and called me to ask me if he could manage me because I want somebody close to me.
Are you serious? He Bobby Boucher'd you?
He Bobby Boucher'd me.
Of course he did.
Oh, Gary. What a Gary move.
Oh, God.
Dude, I didn't know your dad was coming through that strong on a Gary move.
He was like,
"You are my son. Let me be your manager, just like that Tiger Woods."
He really said to me with a real, like, he goes, "Saw you on TV." He goes, "It's really, like, it's coming along really great. I think you're doing great." He goes, "And now, you're on TV." He goes, "You're probably going to need a manager. You're definitely going to want, like, someone who cares about you and loves you." And I'm like, "Yeah, I would want all those things involved. I think you have to convince me that you do any of those things with me."
Can you give me on the last two first, and then maybe we'll talk about management?
Because anyway, here we are 20 years later. Terrible father, fantastic manager. He's really negotiated all my deals wonderful.
There you go. I'm going to tell you this guy. This guy put me on the right track. I didn't know that he was close with Spielberg.
Turns out my dad knows a guy who knows a guy. The new movie, Tag, is in theaters right now. Jeff, I mean it when I say, dude, fucking hilarious work. I'm so proud of you. I texted you the night we saw the screening, and I was like, you got a movie theater movie under your belt. I don't know how else to ever describe it, but I think it's such a cool thing, man, to watch that with you and know you through that time's great. Starring John Hamm, Ed Helms, Hannibal Buress, Jeremy Renner. Absolutely hilarious. Tag in theaters now. See it. Jeff, I love you, buddy. When you come to New York, you got to come in.
Yeah, come hang out, dude.
I will do. I got to see Dan. It's been years in a whole relationship.
Yeah, I'm a different man now. You're going to see how worn out I am. Fuck yeah. God, I was a young, spry man when we hung out.
We love you, dude. Talk soon. Jeff Tomsic, everybody.
Love you too, man. See you guys.
Sauce is special, sauce is sacred.
Let's take our second break. Ooh, I like when he puts that reverb on me.
To be
We'll be right back with more songs from my Starbucks Shazam list. It's Dan Soder, it's Big J. Okerson, it's Bonfire.
And now, back to the Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder.
Carnivore with Sun Went Black. You're listening to the Bonfire right here. Serious.
Oh, man, I was going to say keep going. You're nailing it.
Was I doing good with it?
You're doing great with it. James.
All the songs to get you through the work week.
Okay. You have to double down on the. You have to double down on the W. That's unnecessary.
The work week. The work week. It's almost hump day. 4th of July. Lovers out there, get your flag bikini sent to you. If you're taking a picture of yourself wearing a flag bikini at a public pool, you're going to win a bumper sticker. Right here from the Bonfire, playing all your Shazammed hits from Starbucks from the 80s, 90s, the 90s, and then something sort of from the 2000s.
They do aughts all the time, dude. Don't knock the program director.
They
of
mostly
Starbucks.
do the aughts.
Because I tell you this, I'm a Dunkin' Donuts radio guy. And what they got going on over there is some fresh new hits. Joining the show, he'll be recording his debut album at the Cutting Room in New York City on July 10th and 11th. Welcome to the show, Eric Bergstrom.
Hey, good to see you. How you guys doing?
Good to see you too, dude. You can get your tickets at thecuttingroomnyc.com. Eric is a hilarious comic, a great, fucking one of my favorite joke writers.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, I remember that 3 a Cup show, man. That used to be a fucking live
that
bunch.
was a long time ago.
Yeah, it'd be a lot. He'd do this, right by you guys.
Corner of my block.
Corner of your block.
Oh, yeah.
For years, you did 3 a Cup show, and you go down there, and it'd just be fucking mayhem. And Eric's got these, awesome jokes, but it's like, he's not a loud, like, fill the room presence. He's
very
like
deliberate delivery.
Very great delivery. But it's like, it was impressive to watch these people that were like loud and drunk just start listening and then
Yeah, they
start
were
killing.
rowdy.
Yeah,
they were
very
rowdy cokeheads down there.
It's like an Italian restaurant upstairs.
Yeah,
right?
and then downstairs it's like a small stage.
No, downstairs. I've been downstairs for a friend of mine, Julia C., who used to work like a Headbangers, whatever ball or something. Not Headbangers Ball, but some Headbangers show.
Wait, one of the
Fuse.
bartenders?
She would be a bartender there
but Julia,
on
I remember
Tuesday
her.
nights.
Yeah, I remember her.
And she would say there was comedy and stuff there, and I was like, really? And then
She
went
was
in the
nice.
room. I was like, it's a really like tight, small room. Yeah, she was great. Mistress Julia from Heavy Metal, whatever the fuck it was called, on Fuse TV. She was great. Yeah. I watched her pee outside once. It was pretty great.
Oh, refreshing.
We were both way younger.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
You were not younger then.
No, significantly younger. It was like my 20. Well, she was still doing like the TV Headbangers thing. Metal Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so hot.
She's very hot.
So hot.
We'll
and
tweet
super
it
cool
out
chick.
at the Bonfire SXM on Twitter, and we'll tweet that out.
But it's a small room 3 comes in, but it was a cool room.
Yeah,
for comedy.
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's a fancy, or it was. They closed 3 of Cups, but it was a fancy Italian restaurant upstairs, and then like a rock and roll bar downstairs because the owner didn't want, like, he grew up but didn't want to give up his glory days or something like that.
That's great, though.
It was all like hardcore rockers when you go in there sometimes. You'd be like, I just want to do a joke about how dating's weird. Can I do that real quick? And they'd be like, what's up, bro? Yeah.
Those got to be the smelly, like a rock and roll place in a humid summer night, like in a small, cramped place like that, like everyone. Because that's the style. I get it, by the way, that sometimes sacrifices comfort for look.
Yeah.
And it's just a room full of people, just the squeaks of their leather pants as their profusely sweating thighs are just scratching all around.
Yeah, they sound like they're in biker gear as they're moving around.
Yeah, if you stuck around until like 3 a.m., there'd be the guy with leather pants with his pink cowboy hat that would just disappear to the bathroom doing coke for 45 minutes all the time.
Just come back out all geeked up, just like, whoa!
No, then he'd come out and he'd sit alone, all coked up.
What an awful hang on coke. If you just do it to hang out by yourself.
You go, hey, you guys want to go? Oh, yeah.
Never mind. He goes, what I like to do is I like to do a bunch of coke and then just sit real still and not talk to nobody.
Probably just stare at the bartender the whole time.
He goes, it keeps me up here. You go, coke does? The most social of drugs?
Oh, my God.
That's weird to do coke and
that was
just
his
sit by
watering
yourself.
hole?
It was weird. He was terrifying.
Yeah, you got to see some shit if you do that much blow and you just sit by yourself and you're like, these thoughts are too dangerous for me to speak to anyone.
But he was there all the time.
He was.
Yeah, it's a watering hole guy. I've always been blown away by the concept of that. Just going to a bar so much that you really know the bartender. I know a lot of comics.
I did that at Barcelona bar.
I know. I was going to say, particularly that place. I know a lot of people went, and Christine says that's sort of a draw off of working in the restaurant field, that everyone kind of goes to the bar near it. The same way the Stand, like that Patty's next door, they all know the whole staff.
There's a bar
from the Stand and everything. So I guess that, but just as a guy who's like, I have a drinking issue, and I know everyone who's at this, and it's always like a shitty, you know, it's like Miller's Pub House. It's like they make a pretty good frozen dinosaur chicken nugget.
You want to know some sad shit? My dad lived with one of those guys. It was my dad and Jim, who was my dad was a bartender. It was the barfly from his gym, Jim was the barfly from his bar. And they just lived together.
Not Bar, who was the gym fly.
The gym fly. He's just jacked. He's jacked and fucking hammered.
So would they walk to work together?
I don't know, but I always wondered that.
Like home, maybe sometimes.
Yeah,
but that'd be great.
Your dad's like, got to go open up the bar, and he was like, thank God, I'll get my shoes.
And he goes, I am getting the DTs.
Yes. I'll help you put the chairs down, right? You know, for a beer.
And he goes, all right, Jim. But Jim had this like odd genius parallel where he could make shit. Like he would make these motorized boats, like tiny remote
control boats.
Yeah, but he'd make them into ducks. So he'd put them in the lake because they lived near Clear Lake.
Right.
So they'd put it in the thing and then it would fucking go like 70 miles an hour. He would just be like, zing! It would just shoot across the lake. And you're like, Jim, what are you doing? And he'd be like, smoking a Winston. He'd go, cool, right? And you're like, oh man, your life went off the rails somewhere.
He's like, anyway.
That sounds like
starting to
something
shake.
Yeah, he goes, oh boy, I gotta lay down or else I'm gonna boot. Yeah, dude, that was my dad's roommate, and I drive by that house in Lake County all the time, and they had a fucking sawed-off shotgun under the couch. I was like 10, and I was playing, and I was like, oh, I thought it was a toy gun, and I'm like, this is a real gun. And my dad was like, what are you doing? And I was like, it was under the couch, and he's like, Jim, did you put the shotgun under the couch?
Why'd they stop living together?
Alcohol. My dad died of cirrhosis.
Oh, so they had a fight over alcohol?
Dad died?
Yeah, from drinking.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay.
Oh, well, it was 20 years ago. We're over it.
It was the only way to split them up.
In fact, we've already written some erotic fan fiction where
Jay brings my dad back, and at my special taping, he sucks my dad's dick. I walk in, I see it. I don't join, but I jerk off. It's a whole thing.
But he's into it.
I get it.
He's not joining because he's worried about society's thoughts.
I was wondering if Eric was going to be on board, but he goes, no, I get it. That's a good plot.
It sounds quaint.
There's a market for it, is all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but barflies, like guys like that are very interesting because they're like, sometimes they have like lives and you don't realize that they spend the other part of their lives in bars.
Well, it's like the idea of like Cheers. You never overthought like
Cliff.
There has to have been
Cliff Clavin is a alcoholic postmaster.
Yeah, I know, but they never have done an episode. I don't think they did. That seems like a Robot Chicken idea too, like Norm going home.
Oh my God.
Really going home,
all gassed up, and he's from Boston.
But just
too.
he's never home. It's just a wife that's probably furious that he leaves work and stays there till bar closes down. Yeah, Vera.
Yeah,
that's
Vera.
right.
And they yell every time he walks in, but like you don't know if he brings that joyous energy home. Or Norm's kid's like, yeah, no, it was fun to have Norm as a dad when he was there.
But when he walks in,
that would be great if he had a son, but never mentioned it ever in the...
Ever.
He goes, Norm! He goes, get me a beer. He goes, I need a bucket of ice from my hand. Don't ask a lot of questions. He goes, Cliff, what's up?
He goes, kid's skull's getting thick. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah,
It's my beer mug in hand.
Can you look this up? I think they did a spin-off called Norm.
Really?
That didn't succeed. This might be a wrong memory, but I swear to God, they did, with George Wendt, they did a spin-off called Norm that didn't survive. Like Frasier took off.
I mean, there's a show called Norm that was Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, it says that he played Norm in an episode of Frasier. But I'm not finding something about his own
in
show.
Frasier, there were a lot of cameos.
From Cheers?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is always fun.
Was there a Ted Danson ever?
Yeah, there's a Ted Danson one.
Really?
Sam shows up in Frasier?
Yes.
Hey, hell yeah. What's up, Frasier?
Shelley Long ever? That would be the most one.
Shout out Frasier. Shout out Niles.
Isn't Frasier who ditches her from the get-go?
What is it? He treats her and then he...
What, with
Diane on Cheers.
Diane.
Didn't Frasier bring her and leave, or was somebody else that brought her and left her? She met Frasier after.
I'm not sure. I don't know my Cheers lineage.
I don't remember Cheers that much.
I can go Roseanne lineage. I can't go Cheers.
That was watching on my laying on my belly on the floor, hoping my mom didn't realize. Just thought I was asleep on the floor and didn't bother me, make me go to my room.
That's great. That's such a little kid tactic.
I'd fake death every night.
Did you guys know about that? Was it that bar, the Cheers bar they tried to open in a Minneapolis airport where... Like they had animatronic Cheers characters.
Please look that up.
But it's real. But they couldn't get the rights to the actual characters, so they couldn't have Cliff Clavin, the mailman. They had like Jim Javen, the UPS guy, or something like that. They were all like weird sidestep parodies.
Instead of Sam pitching for the Red Sox, he was a cricket player from India. Like, listen, we got a guy.
You know me. I like the ladies.
I stopped drinking when I got kicked out of the cricket league.
Diane, get over here.
Diane. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Did you find that bar?
I'm looking.
It's a real place.
But Norm going home, you forget that they're all from Boston, so he'd have been hammered. He'd be like, where the fuck were you, Norm?
Oh, they didn't have accents, did they?
At all. There wasn't one Boston accent in that whole bar.
Not one? Even Coach? Coach, man.
Did Coach have a Boston accent?
Bless Coach.
Bless God.
My favorite fun fact is still to this day that Woody, I believe, does not sing the Cheers song, right? It's not him. It's always sounded like it was Woody Harrelson singing the song to me.
Oh, yeah, I looked up the lyrics. Don't the lyrics get real weird, too?
Do they? Well, please bring that up.
Like your best friend turns into a woman or something like that? It's like the full lyrics. Like, it's a full song.
I want to see that, and then if we could play the theme, because I want to know if that gets all weird. Where he's like, you want to be with your friend, and he's not gay unless he drinks. He goes, this about fucking your best friend because he's too drunk? You want to suck his dick behind everyone's back.
That's your friend Nathan. He goes gay for pay.
Wait, let's. Is this the full song?
You don't have no money.
Yeah, this is the long version.
This is the long. Can you start over?
Oh God, do we have to?
Everything you've got.
Yeah, we know this whole part.
Yeah.
Taking a break from all
That's
your
a little
work.
Well, it would help a lot. I mean, this is about alcoholism.
Got no lights. The
Check is in the mail. I mean, this is about being an alcoholic. And your little angel
hung the cat up by its tail.
Wow.
And your third fiance didn't show.
This is bummer. Yeah, I want to go to a bar too.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Alcoholism!
You got no lights?
Always glad you came.
Oh, I like the synthesizer.
By the way, you don't want to go somewhere where the troubles are all the same. If like you got to go to a bunch of people hanging out at a bar that had no lights, they go, we should go fucking burn down the electric company.
Yeah.
You guys want to do that? I'm
is.
fucking whacked.
The morning's looking bright. And your shrink ran off to Europe
And didn't even write.
Oh, God.
And your husband wants to be a girl.
Wow, what the fuck?
Horrifically shitty.
There's one place in the world where everybody knows your name.
I mean,
That's uncomfortable.
What the fuck?
And they're always glad you came.
Did you
And
guys
your
realize
husband
this
wants
is-
to be a girl.
Did anyone ever realize that Cheers' theme was anti-trans?
It's transphobic.
You say you might need a drink.
Yeah. Because it turns out you dated a trans, you're married to a trans, better go get hammered.
Your husband wants to be a girl. I don't know if you go walk through a bar. It's also a place you don't want to go where everybody knows your name. Jay, what's going on?
There you go. Did anyone
Christine's
else see this?
growing a mustache.
Yeah. Christine is taking hormones.
Well, I mean, she's an Armenian girl. She's probably get it handled. Like, no, she's growing it out.
Yeah, listen, we all know your name. We know what you're about here. And we could have told you that was going to happen.
Cliff, I know you're a mailman, dude, but please don't tell everybody. Please don't tell everybody.
Norm?
Yeah,
Norm goes,
fuck you. I'm fucking telling everyone Jay's fucking wife wants a cock.
He's thinking about not leaving it, you fucking fag.
Ah, fuck you. You don't like Larry Bird. You're a fucking queer.
Real Cheers is just shitty people from Boston.
Fuck you. No blacks.
They're just super racist in the 80s.
Fucking the only blacks that can drink here at Cheers are fucking Celtics.
Was there any black character?
Nope.
Never once.
There was I remember
Like
watching to
drop-ins,
see
but not a main
once in a
character.
while a background person.
Oh, man.
Just every time there's music playing.
And they all stop talking and then go, you fucking suspicious of the black guy, too?
They go, yo, how fucking long before we tell him he's got to go?
They go, hey, fucking, someone want to tell him that Dorchester's fucking 3 towns away?
You just
He
go,
goes, hey, this ain't fucking Roxbury.
you just go over and keep asking him questions. He goes, hey, it's last call if you want to get out of here. Whatever.
Hey, buddy, you want
He's
something?
like, it's
Or
7 p.m.
they're just racist and they go, sorry, no fucking Hennessy. Sorry, we don't fucking have Hennessy.
No dark rums.
Yeah. How is fucking Power Rangers racist? Christina
Is
brought up-
there no Black Ranger?
No, there is. The Black Ranger is black.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why.
And the
I'll tell you,
Asian-
whatever the answer
Asian-
is, that'll be why.
The Asian, now that I'm thinking about it, the Asian Ranger was yellow.
The red's
Okay.
Native American.
Yeah, oh boy. Okay, you know what? Guess I didn't see this. The blue was white, though, so they nailed that.
Like his
Blue is
eyes.
white, pink is white girl.
So
The way
funny.
God intended
Blue
himself.
is white boy, pink is white girl.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think it's
Oh,
true.
90.
I know
Red's not
pink
Native
is a white
American.
girl.
Red's not Native American.
Swear to
no.
God, I think it is.
No, that'd be fucking great.
Because I think this was partially produced by...
like it is time for the Power Rangers to form.
For I am ready to morph into something more powerful than myself. For I am the great eagle spirit. What was the green? A fucking pothead? He goes,
The Green's a fucking dork driving a Prius talking about clean energy constantly.
Guys, we need to learn about alternative fuels for our Voltron monster.
One thing the Power Rangers aren't powerful about, leaving our footprint. Our carbon footprint.
We're against what we fight more than that evil lady is fucking fossil fuels and the oil industry.
I mean, the obvious ones they always have. All in the Family, clearly a racist show.
Yeah,
Not racist is the wrong word. Yes,
a parody of racism.
Absolutely a parody, but it was a show that went for where you couldn't. I mean, I found this out very recently firsthand. Context holds no value anymore. I mean, the outright. I believe the networks will outright tell you that there's nothing in context. Means nothing. It's the word. If they hear the word, they don't want to deal with the letters. No one's willing to defend it because when you defend it, then more maniacs come out and go, "You're defending this?" And it's like,
yeah, but even with All in the Family, it was a remake of a British show, wasn't it?
Was All in the Family a remake? Was it really?
Yeah,
it was based on a British show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was weird those shows weren't on Nick at Night in the 90s because they were a little too
risque,
before the times, really, and then they kind of came back
mean,
around. That wasn't on. I watched Nick at Night religiously, and it was like Dick Van Dyke's show, Mary Tyler Moore, but those shows were not on.
Language. I remember.
Who had the joke "penis von lesbian"? What was that from? That's something.
I remember. I remember Married with Children being too dirty. My mom was like, "You're not allowed to watch that." And you're like, "What?"
It was the only time I've ever made the "What are you talking about?" face to my dad was when I went to his house to, for an assigned have to visit.
Yeah.
And he went there and I put on Married with Children. It was my favorite show at the time.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, and he's like, "No, I don't want you watching this. I don't want." He goes, "I don't like the way they portray the family with the bumbling dad. Nobody respects him." And I'm like,
"That's the problem."
But it's not even that. I just looked at him with I'm like, this is going to be your fucking decree.
Dude, it's so funny.
This is the one thing. I mean, you don't even know if I take heroin when I'm at home.
Dude, that's the best part is when shitty dads try to step in and be like, "Watch me work."
Yeah.
My dad was legitimately...
No pleated pants. That's my one thing now.
My dad was literally dying of cirrhosis the last time I saw him, and my uncle's like, "Hey, I got some cigars. Think the soda boys could smoke?" And my dad goes, "No. I don't want him smoking cigars." I'm like, "I smoke cigarettes, and you're about to die.
Let me smoke the
Let me
fucking cigar."
Let me rip a Swisher Sweet, dude."
I had my stepmom try to pull, she wouldn't let me take the car past 10 o'clock because of curfew one time when I was staying with them, and it was the first time I had ever had that kind of boundary put on me at all.
Oh, dude.
Christine had adults coming over to fuck him when she was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Not 12.
Now?
Not 12. 13.
I was like 16.
Are your parents together, Eric?
Oh, God, no.
No. But both alive?
Yes. But they got divorced in the 4th grade or when I was in the 4th grade or whatever.
Is that easier or harder, you think, at the end of the day?
Easier, but that happened in the 4th grade. It's good, you're getting divorced. So it's I know grown-ups now who are their parents are getting divorced and they're heartbroken about it.
Yeah.
They're giant pansies. I don't understand how
I agree with
this
you.
is your biggest problem.
If you're an adult dealing with divorce, fuck off.
Yeah, I just feel
Who cares?
And by the way, my mom's been with Joe for a long, long time.
If you were divorced, would you be like, "I need a week off the show"?
But if Joe and my mom were getting divorced, I would be. I mean, it's a story in my life for sure. I'm like, holy shit, really? What's going on? But I couldn't be like.
I'm not saying not have sympathy.
Yeah, I would definitely have sympathy. But going through, I went through. I was a baby. I don't remember my dad really being around in my life at all. So I don't really have that thing. But when I do hear adults, I've had that many times, they go, "I just can't. My parents are getting divorced. I don't know how to deal with it." You're like, you're in your 30s.
Yeah, you don't live with them. They're not. This isn't destroying your home life.
Yeah,
Dave and Barb.
Not even sort of.
Dave and Barb are breaking up. And you're like, "Your parents?" I really
call
don't
them by
care.
their first names.
I really don't care.
You always get in the bright side. Goes, "Hey, maybe your dad finds a hot young chick, catch her naked a little bit."
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of fucking hardened to the point. I don't know if you're like this, Christine, but when one of my friends who's an adult, when their parents die, I go, "So?"
Yeah, you're like, you've had them for 30 years.
Yeah. It's a real weird thing because you almost feel real bad when you're like, "My dad died," and you're like, "Man, I'm so sorry. Are you doing okay?" But then they're like, "It's so hard," and you're like, "You're like 40."
Yeah, but
So
it's
you want to meet?
something
You want to meet at 4 p.m. for the show, or
Yeah.
I've thought about that though. It's obviously going through the death of a parent as a child or a teenager is super traumatic, but then there's also something to like my cousin Melanie just lost her mother. And that's like a 45-year relationship of somebody being like, a best friend, and it's a whole adult relationship that I've never even experienced.
True.
So I almost wonder if it can actually be like for us, it's like we lost our parent, but to them, I feel like they lose more of a person that they know.
And I feel like a lot more people, as they grow up, bond with their parents on different levels. Like some people break through with a relationship where they're like, I hated my dad when I was a kid, and then I got older and I realized you're giving me a look, Eric. Like, oh no, that's not the case.
No, hate them forever.
Hate them forever. That's a strong. That's a strong.
No,
way to go.
I've just never been. I don't bond with them. So no, but
You've
people
never bonded
do bond with.
Have you never bonded with either parent?
Yeah, not super close.
That's not to get too personal, and feel free not to answer that, but we spoke on Legion of Skanks last night. Eric was on. It was great. Very open about dealing with, like, you beat stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer, which is fantastic. That's a bleak diagnosis. So to beat that didn't bring your family, your parents, stuff closer together at all?
Well, I had to stay here because one, my mom has been homeless for a long time, and I've tried to fix that. And
these are all funny things I've heard in roast battles against you, where I'm like, well, that's probably just a ball bust.
You hear two things, you go, wow. First off, didn't know that was real. Second off, good roast joke.
So my mom was homeless. So, Thanksgiving's really garbage.
And then when my dad found out I had cancer, he made it very clear. That the first two responses he had were that he was not genetically responsible.
Jesus.
And then second, he brought up an abortion a girl I dated in college had.
Wait, so he tried to sink you? He tried to lose blame and then...
Was he saying the abortion was like why you got, like he put that on you?
No, he didn't say why. It was like I don't know. He's a sociopath.
I know you're like, Dad, I have cancer. He goes, well, our blood type's not the same, so I can't give you an organ.
You go, that's not what I was asking.
Anything else?
He said that he wasn't genetic, but then I have an aunt that got the same type of cancer and then died a year ago. So
his sister.
Yeah.
So
he is genetic. No,
he's genetically responsible.
Dude, what a fucked up told you so. You call back and you go, hey, Dad. I just want to talk to you. He's like, all right, Eric, I understand. I was a little cruel.
I may have been gruff.
That's got to fucking fuel you just to be like, man, what the fuck? Like that kind of reaction?
He keeps it moving.
Okay.
With doing weird things. So,
so he just keeps fucking surprising you.
Yeah.
Spice it up. Spice up the relationship.
That's what growing up with him was like.
Well, it is.
Are you really in a place where it's just better for you to keep distance from them and in your adult life?
Yeah, but then, now this is another thing. Then my little sister had 4 kids, 2 different dads. They turned out to be deadbeats.
Okay.
Then she ended up moving in with my dad.
Okay.
And then just somehow in that time we broke her down. Then she died of a heroin overdose.
Jesus.
Because it was accidentally laced with elephant tranquilizers. I don't blame him entirely, but I would get phone calls in the middle of the night about being woken up with like a broom and stuff like that. Like,
wait, from him or from
her? From her, or from them all? Her and her kids being locked out in the snow from a bar, like just weird ass stuff. And now he has those 4 kids, and I guess he's cooled off a bit. But it's,
do you talk to them? Do you talk to the kids a lot?
I talk to them a fair bit, but the eldest is about to turn 17, and the youngest is 6, I think.
Jeez,
wow. Do they all look out for each other? Like the older ones care a lot about the younger ones?
Yeah, but they what is it? The oldest kid like is super mature and is like a little overly responsible mom, but also is frustrated. So it's all weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
You could hear hilarious stories like this and others at Eric's taping 2 nights.
July 10th, July 11th at the Cutting Room.
I don't want to genuinely leave it off on that note, though, but Eric is absolutely fucking hilarious. Very interesting, crazy stories. I mean, listen,
one of my favorite roast battlers.
I mean,
your
absolutely.
roast battle, I mean, it's so unique what you do up there.
Oh,
it's
thank
always
you.
so funny.
Well, I have to.
No, I think
they
you're
have a lot of
fantastic.
fodder against me.
Well,
They
it's
have
also like the
lot of ammo.
the opposite of the advice you would give to somebody doing roast battle, and you do these long, drawn out pieces that are just amazing, and a lot of people can't even make that work in that scenario.
Thank you.
And you have a book out too. You're an artist. Like
I do have a book. I do cartoons for the New Yorker here and there, and then I have a book out with Penguin Books called Grimmer Tales from like 9 years back.
Yeah, it's fucking incredible. They put out a book of
No, Eric's very talented. I said I got to see him at the Roast Battle bunch, and I've seen his comedy. I saw his half-hour Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which was fantastic. No, absolutely hilarious, man. Interesting. Listen, everything you're saying, all that tragedy is what builds fucking a comic. I mean, it's a recipe. It's
what
a
builds
recipe.
cancer.
It is a recipe for comedy. I mean, like for a comedian, if ever there was one, you know.
Yeah.
And make sure you check out July 10th and 11th, the Cutting Room, one show a night.
Cutting Room NYC for tickets. CuttingRoomNYC.com.
Was it Phoebe Robinson will be featuring from Two Dope Queens. Sean Donnelly will be hosting. And then
that's a
I'll
great
be
and
then I'll be doing like an hour each night.
And
So
that's a fun room too.
It's a beautiful space. It's a fun bar. It's a great place.
For the listeners, go up, say hi to Eric after or before the show. Let him know you heard him on the Bonfire. And we have great comedy fans in the show, and they will come support, man. Check it out. Again, his debut album at the Cutting Room, New York City, July 10th and 11th. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Eric.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Yeah. And then we have to all go have a cry hug, I think, now. When we come back from break, we're going to be airing the Nick Foles interview that we did with me, Bennington, and Gail from last week. It was so fun. Dan wasn't there for it. I guess at the therapist like a pussy with his fucking stupid nothing problems.
Yeah. So make sure...
Dan's never had cancer. He drank a little bit once. Jeez, fuck
my
over
sippy
yourself.
cup was too good.
Oh, my belly doesn't feel good because I hit a little bit too much of what I like to drinky poo.
I wake up and want to end it.
Cigarettes died. I got a college-level wrestler living who's ready to snap at any moment.
We'll be live Thursday. Again, follow us at the Bonfire SXM on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all
Enjoy
that
your
shit.
barbecues.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Live on Thursday. Until then, enjoy the Nick Foles interview. This is the Bonfire.
When seas will cover lands and when men will be no more.
And now, back to the Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder.
It's XM 95. Big J. Okerson. Dan Soder not with us for this segment. He is off at therapy, so go ahead and I'll pause for laughter. He's figuring out what's wrong with him. And
he knows what's wrong with him.
He just wants somebody else to say it too.
Yeah.
We have a very special segment. Joining us very shortly will be, of course, MVP of Super Bowl 52, Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Nick Foles is going to be joining us. And joining me for this interview, so I'm not sitting here like a nervous little girl who's getting to meet Michael Jackson in 1984. I brought in some calming forces. You know them and love them, of course, in the Bennington Show on Raw Dog. It's Ronnie B. and Gail, everyone.
Yes, for us.
Yes.
By the way, it would have been a little boy that would be nervous to meet Michael Jackson in 84.
No, not if it was an Asian girl.
You think that was Mike's thing?
Yeah, the
Okay.
Asians fall apart at Michael Jackson, or anywhere in like Budapest.
Yeah.
They just melt. They fall apart. Still today. We're all sitting here in our Eagle swag, which makes me laugh a lot.
This is what we always wear, though, right?
We kind of do this for every guest. When Boss Gags comes in, we're just wearing all Boss Gags stuff wherever you go.
You make Chris dress like Boss Skaggs, like a blazer with the sleeves rolled up, like Don Johnson.
Like everybody else, I have my lowdown shirt from 1978.
I was there, Boz. I was there.
Now, Nick Foles is coming in. Is he the hikey one? Which one is he?
Is he the kicky person?
Did you read the book?
Nope. I've read 5 books in my life.
Really?
Autobiography of Jim Morrison, the unauthorized.
Oh, that's a good one.
Autobiography of Jim Morrison. The authorized biography of Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
I had to read Malcolm X for school. Everything else I did Cliff Notes. I think I read Misery.
Yeah.
And I think I read the last chapter of The Shining to see if the ending was better explained in the book than it was in the movie.
Well, I read Believe It last night, the Nick Foles thing.
Yeah.
I believe it.
You believe it
He
now?
does. He believes it.
It's official. Black Lou really trying to stir up some shit by wearing that cowboy. We interviewed Dak Prescott a week ago. I wore nothing Eagles.
Right.
Nothing at all. Lou's trying to start a fight with a religious man.
It's it's not the 90s, Lou. Okay? If it was the 90s, that gear would be appropriate.
Yeah. Dion? It'd be funny if he just comes in and about faces for that reason. And we go, hey, sorry about the thing. He goes, no, it's because he's black.
Here's the thing. My heart was beating like a rabbit during the Minnesota game. The Minnesota chapter in here, I'm like, oh shit, man, I forgot.
That was so
how great that game was for us.
I was on a cruise ship. First day of a cruise, those heavy metal cruises I do.
Yeah, I hope you got some relaxation.
And yeah, absolutely. There's nothing like just catching some rays by the pool while Suicidal Tendencies is wailing the pool deck stage. Giving inspirational messages of pool moshing. But that was the first day of it. They said they would have it televised on the boat somewhere, and it was such a cool thing. I mean, maybe 4 Vikings fans on this boat showed up, but this little bar on this cruise ship was just completely elbow to elbow with Eagles fans, from the people in the bands and everything. It was such a cool moment to start that cruise ship with and make friends with people and kind of bond for that whole trip based off that game, because no one believed that was happening.
Dude, when Minnesota drove down, scored right away, I'm like, I knew it. Okay, it's over, done, good.
Here we
can put this out of our minds.
You start to pretend like I wanted it this way. Now I feel relaxed.
Yeah,
I do. I did say that. I was like, this is good because the Super Bowl, honestly, it'll be a chaotic day. I have to rush. I'm rushing home from Austin, Texas.
There's no possible way to beat the Patriots. So good. This is over now.
Congratulations, Tom Brady. Keep living your great life, you idiot. But I thought it was over. Yeah, they do. It's weird when the playoffs start getting down to the wire, like the last game or two of the playoffs. You really start feeling like it's giving you a responsibility weekly, like something you have to care and feel about.
Yeah,
this is the weirdest time of year for me because I'm not a baseball or hockey fan. That when basketball and football are both done, I really don't know what to do. Like, it's weird that so much sports for so many months, and then a real break, which is probably good for the Christines of the world who have to pretend
it's more than one.
Have to pretend that they're loving it every week.
Look, let me just explain to you what I got into, and it's really been great. Since Gail is going to have this baby, I started whittling. I'm just whittling. Started with soap. I'm into wood now. Oh my God, Jay, I'm looking right behind you. There he is.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Oh, it's getting very, very real.
Fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Nick Foles.
To be honest, I grew up in Cowboys territory. I definitely had some Cowboys stuff, but I was in Austin, so the University of Texas as a kid was like my professional team. I did love Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, but if I had to choose an NFL team that I loved, like as a kid, it'd probably be the Broncos, just because of John Elway. But you live in Austin, like my mom went to Texas, her family went to Texas. So Texas was all I really needed.
It was a cool moment. I got to have the weekend of the Super Bowl. I was performing at Cap City Comedy Club in Austin, Texas, and not even overthinking that. But, I wore my Eagles stuff all weekend, in anticipation, and a bunch of people after the shows were coming up and they go, Nicky Foles, man, like Austin, Texas. Like you are a hometown hero for there. They really were hanging their hats. So it was cool to be in a city so far from home that was
in
so behind
Texas.
You. Yeah,
there was like Eagles stuff like at my old schools, and that doesn't happen because it's Cowboy territory. So it was really cool to see all that.
Well, up here we're in at very worst, you'd say Giants territory, but for some reason, Black Lou's decided to just become a Cowboys fan.
Right. Well, he's a contrarian.
He likes a star on a shirt.
A couple weeks ago, he was wearing a North Korea hat. I'm just, I don't understand it.
He just goes devil's advocate on everything.
But, we were just back in Austin. We were ending every show with God Bless Nick Foles because, your high school, the fact that you and Drew Brees went to the same high school, it's crazy being here in the Northeast where no football players ever went on to be a pro. Not one person from the Northeast.
I mean, my school, we had to play football on like a concrete schoolyard. There wasn't grass.
Yeah.
It was so urban. We would play. You'd wait for it to snow so you could play tackle football on concrete.
I went to a performing arts high school, so we had a lot of dancers.
Oh, a lot of dancers.
Athletic still. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Dancers are some of the most athletic people in the world, for sure.
What a diplomatic answer.
Yeah.
No, my wife grew up dancing, so she's a dancer and played volleyball. So
it's funny. Zach Ertz too also has a wife who's like a crazy athlete.
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah,
like, that's got to be a tough household when everyone in the house is super tough.
Yeah. Oh, their kids are going to be rock stars. So
I'm sure. Just specimens, if nothing else. I'm
yes,
sure.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on the book. How strange was this looking back at everything after you get a breath?
Oh, it's definitely strange. I mean, even going through the book process and just reliving, all the moments that are in the book and giving all the details of everything. I mean, it's not easy to go through your life and like go back in there and be in the moment and share the moment and then be able to put it on paper. Josh Cooley, the author, who wrote it, did an amazing job portraying our words through, the best way we do is like conference calls. And I've known Josh for a couple years now. And then we get to go through the edits. My wife and I get to go through the edits and fine tune everything. And it is a crazy process. It's an emotional process, I'll tell you that. And, it's a humbling process because you get to look at your life journey and just see how, fortunate you are through the ups and downs. And, that's who makes you who you are. So it was really cool. That's the premise of the book. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really proud of it. I think everyone did an amazing job on this team.
Well, the lack of glamour when you read this part of it, just the difficulty of preparing for games, and particularly when you were back up and not knowing. Mm-hmm. I mean, just to come in like that against the Rams when we really needed that game, the pressure is more than most people could even understand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being a backup quarterback's a little bit different, a lot different than being a starter, because a starter, you're getting all the reps during the week. You're part of the game plan. You're repping all the walkthroughs. There's just so much that goes on. You have a throwing relationship with the starting receivers, tight ends, running backs. When you're a backup during the week, you're in all the meetings, you're watching, you're taking mental reps, but there's sometimes you haven't repped the plays, you haven't thrown as much with the guys, and then, you're running scout teams. So you're running the opposing team's offense against your defense. So it's a totally different look running against a totally different defense. So to come off the bench to execute at a high level for backups is not always easy. So that's where you just really have to, trust your prep, go in there and just read and react, because it's too hard to just try to figure everything out.
The day of the Super Bowl, are you in the locker room thinking I got this completely, or are you just conflicted? I thought it was that interesting documentary about Mike Tyson, where he says the whole walk to the ring, he's terrified.
Yeah.
Like he's afraid, almost like he wants to leave, and then as soon as he gets inside the ropes, he's like, I'm going to kill this guy.
Absolutely. I mean, I think every athlete feels that way in their own sort of way, in the sense of like you wake up, you get out of bed, like you're stiff, like you just woke up and you're like, man, how am I going to play today? Like, how is my body? But then like you've done this your entire life. You definitely have those moments. But I will say this, like, the closer you get to game time, like Mike Tyson said, like your body all of a sudden, like your brain, everything starts turning on, and it switches from like more so how am I going to do all these different things with my body and my mind to like, all right, let's go time, let's go. Like I'm ready to go. Let's just start the game. And that's sort of how it is. And then, I felt really comfortable pregame. I went out there. I remember they had like Darius Rucker's concert on the big screen, and I love country music, so I felt right at home. I was running around, throwing the football, catching the football, having some fun, just trying to be loose, be a kid out there on this big stage. And, after the first play of the Super Bowl where I threw the pass to Nelson Aguilar, where I had to reset my feet and everything, I knew that, I felt good and was present, which was awesome.
Who would have known? I bet Hootie had no idea he'd be such a part of that story.
Yeah. Although the rest of the team was there for Meek Mill. That was hilarious. But we were talking about this. It was the Minnesota game that was so shocking to everybody. It was so surprising. And we forget the pressure of that game to win that one. Again, did you know that was going to happen that way? Or
I mean, did I know the Minnesota game was going to happen in Minnesota?
You felt that...
studying the Minnesota defense, it was one of the most impressive, if not the most impressive defense I studied on film. Just from the caliber of players to the communication they have to them adjusting to all the different motions and personnels and how they played football. Very impressive. So we knew we were in for a battle. But at the same time, like as a competitor, you want to go against the best. So technically, statistically, we were going against the best defense. So, we had a great week of preparation going into the game. I felt great. I felt like our game plan was on par to, really attack them. And, we were able to do something that no team had done to them all season on the biggest stage at the right time, and have a lot of fun doing it. So, I don't think anyone expected that, but we knew we'd go out there and compete every single day and come away with the win. We just didn't know how. And, fortunately, it was a pretty good win.
Oh, it was amazing. I was saying I was on the high seas for that game. I was on a heavy metal cruise ship performing with a bunch of people squeezed into a cruise ship bar. I'm so envious of like my girlfriend Christine in her relationship with me. She's been a fan for I guess 5 years or so, 6 years, and she got to come in at a time. We went to a game you played against the Giants in Philly. One of the weirdest things ever, the toll booth for the Walt Whitman Bridge when we were coming down, I was wearing a jersey, and the toll booth collector said, "You ready for that blank out tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that'd be nice, right?" 27-0 was the game. I thought that was weird. Right. I always wondered if that guy even... Maybe it was an easy pass with no guy, and I just saw him. Is that my angel?
But you need to get him on the radio.
Yeah. But you did light up the city, and it's a really amazing thing that happens like that. And we were talking all through generations. My dad's 91. My mom, this is the first year she ever watched football ever and fell in love with the team. It was just that magical kind of year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I've run into, especially being on the book tour, but I mean, just the months after the Super Bowl, leading up to the game, you get to see the passion of the Eagles fan base and the family. I mean, it's a family. I mean, we know that. And the generations that come with it. I did a book signing last night, and I got to meet so many people, and you get to see the generations. You get to see, like, I have stories of 90-year-olds, and I've been able to meet a lot of a couple of them where it's just like, wow, like I'm only 29, but just to have an opportunity to be a part of the team that had that much influence on the city, on the people who love the team so genuinely, is so humbling. But it's really cool. It says a lot about this fan base. They've waited for so long. I mean, y'all know it. Y'all are them. As players, we live it, and that's what made it so special for us. Is like we don't, obviously we provide for our families and do this, but like we live the city of Philadelphia. We love the city of Philadelphia. We love the people, and we knew winning this game what it would bring. I mean, just go watch, Jason Kelsey's speech. He summarizes it. He couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah, it's maybe one of my favorite things ever is when he's going through and arguably airing everyone's dirty laundry.
Some of it's some of it's still valid. Like,
but my favorite was, Lane can't stay off the juice, and he's going through, and then my favorite one is about himself. He goes, Jason Kelsey's too small. He's not big enough, and it's like, is that the dig on you? He's like a giant guy wearing a genie. I'm not big enough. I'll try harder, everyone.
That moment was so exciting. I mean, that parade just on TV was crazy. Jack was there, and that moment was maybe one of the funniest of all time. Like, it was so ridiculously exciting to watch.
Well, we had already been watching like all the YouTube stuff the entire week.
We were so pumped up.
I was sending back and forth.
Yeah.
I said that one of the greatest promos ever is when they show the season backwards. And then it comes all back to the Doug Peterson speech at camp where he's like, we're not going to be 9-7. We worked too hard for that. It's a goosebumper to me.
No, for sure. And then you see what happens.
Do you feel, now you played in Kansas City and St. Louis, can you tell, is there like a discernible difference in the cities, like fan bases, like from Philadelphia to those two?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Philadelphia is so unique. I think it just goes by the just people in the areas. I mean, we all know the general areas of the U.S., the different types of people or stereotypes. Midwest, very laid back, homey people, live country, at Arrowhead Stadium, they were awesome. Awesome fans, gets loud. St. Louis, they were going through a rough time with the transition to L.A. The team had been successful for a long time, so that was tough on them. But, they were still supportive. Philly's it's just ingrained into, like, basically their skin because of the tattoos and everything. No, but it's just, like I said, generational, family-based. Like, it's a part of your daily life. And that is something that's so prevalent and so unique. Just playing in, the link. I remember when I was traded, one of the saddest things was I never thought I would ever be able to run out of the link again and wearing an Eagles jersey, and it just happened so abruptly. And that was really hard to swallow because what I feel for the city of Philadelphia, and then getting to put it back on again, and not expecting any of this. Like I was just going there to help a young quarterback, to be a part of a team, to be a part of an amazing city, to be in a great city, to raise my daughter who is 1 now. But now I'm sitting here, and it's crazy what's happened, and it couldn't have happened in a better place.
It is amazing, and you signed for an extension to stay with the team, which is that's what everyone was concerned about. They're like, "Oh man, now that's it. He's going to leave and go somewhere else now and take the starting job." But what was part of the decision to do that?
So I was on the trade block for a little while, and there's definitely teams that were interested, but there's a pretty high price tag, and they had me for 1 more year. And we love Philly. I mean, we know the situation with Carson. I love Carson. He's an amazing quarterback. He'll have an amazing career. But, we restructured my deal because I am here. I would have had, the opportunity to go be a starter. And, the team is wonderful. I have a great relationship with them. So we basically did a good deal where they restructured my deal this year. And then next year they give me basically an option, a player option. And, most likely it'll be a free agent. I'll be a free agent after a year, but I get to be in Philly 1 more year where, it's never happened where, someone who's, a quarterback in the Super Bowl comes back and he's a backup quarterback basically. But, I'm excited to be in a city, to be with an amazing team. I would love to lead a team once again, but, to be in Philly, I mean, I would play my whole career here. Like, I love Philly, but at the same time, you have such a great quarterback room. I mean, you have Carson, you have me, you have Nate Sudfeld, who's going to, be a starter someday in the league and have a great career. So it's a very unique situation right now in the city of Philadelphia, and, we're just going to enjoy it while it lasts.
I thought one of the real interesting things in the book, too, is about your faith and the way that helps you let go a lot of the stuff around you all the time.
Yeah, so my faith in Christ, I gave my life to Christ my freshman year of college. I grew up in a Christian household. In
University of Arizona?
No, it's at Michigan State.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so.
I was going to be
but even more so.
It's maybe the best time to find it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. But basically, I was going to originally go to ASU, decommitted because the coach was fired, went to Michigan State. My whole throwing shoulder was repaired. I was going through a tough time, and, there's times in your life where you lose all your confidence. You're just really struggling. I'm a Texas boy in Michigan, and, it was the winter, and, just sitting there, and I remember just praying and just basically giving my life to Christ. Just like, I don't have the answers. I don't know it, but I'm going to trust you, God, and God in the Word, God in the Bible. And then God literally placed people in my life to sort of mentor me and guide me from there on out, and just sort of hold me accountable and grow. And then eventually I went to Arizona, and, my strength coach, Coach Ed, he had Bible study every Thursday. His wife, Miss Lori Edmond, was my study hall lady, and she invited me to it originally. And they had such a great influence on my life when it came to, being an athlete, and then my faith in Christ. And then, now I'm having an opportunity to be in seminary, to, be a mentor to younger players, to younger kids, to even adults. And it's been very humbling, but we share a lot of that in the book because this book is about my story of faith. But the thing is, you don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be anything. You're going to enjoy the book because it's just a journey of my life, and it's a very honest journey, so much so that my dad read it, and, he called me and just said, there was so much about you I didn't know that you opened up in the book. And I said, well, that was the reason we did it, was to impact people and be honest.
I think you're going to say that's the reason you did it, so my father can get to know me.
No, my dad's my hero. Yeah. I wouldn't be here without my dad. I have an amazing relationship with my dad. Emotional time was after the Super Bowl, getting to see him and hug him on field. Like, I wouldn't be here without him and my mom just pushing me, being supportive. And, he was hard on me as a kid, but he expected a lot out of me, just like Andy Reid expected a lot out of me. That's why Andy Reid's one of my favorite coaches of all time, is because he reminds me a lot of my dad and how my dad used to push me in a fatherly way, in a caring way. And that's why I think I can play for him, and it brought the joy back originally, was because he reminded me of my dad. And, but it was cool that my dad, who read it, who lived this journey with me, and he had a tough time reading the, St. Louis, the trade, and like, he didn't even know, like, when I got traded, like, what I was doing. He was like upset about it. He's like, I didn't know, like you were at the gym, like this, like because I just shared that I got traded. I didn't share the details because my dad lives and dies every single play I play. And he's already, he's 71, he's in great health, but like, I don't want to put any more on him.
Sure.
And I want to hold a lot of that, and I'll share with my wife. But the fact that he said that made it, we did the right thing in the book, and we, 100% honest. It wasn't sensationalized. And he did say, he's like, nothing was sensationalized. You didn't embellish anything. And that's important when you do a book. I don't want it to be fake. I want it to be real.
Honesty, yeah.
Yeah,
People
so
connect to.
Well, you were talking about like you live in service, and that's all part of it. And I think people that's like to me one of the great lessons of this book. Here you are, an athlete, everybody's cheering for you, but you're giving it away every day, or else you don't feel good about yourself, right?
Yeah, I'd say that if you make anything about yourself and your life or like your job or anything, like there might be moments where you start achieving things and you think you're doing all right, but you're eventually going to be lonely because you're doing it all for yourself. For me, my priorities are always my faith and family. And, it gets tough at times though. You get pulled every which direction. We all do. I'm in the midst of that right now, getting pulled and, just keeping the foundation of my faith in Christ and, my marriage and being a father as the root of everything gives me the ability and the strength to go to my day-to-day things, to go on a book tour for a week-long thing away from my family. But at the end of the day, I'm able to share and talk about my faith. I'm able to talk about my family and the journey because that's what it's about. But that's a daily thing. And I don't want to sit up here and say like I got it figured out. Like I don't. Like I still struggle. I'm always going to say that. If I'm fortunate to live a long, healthy life, I will struggle every single day, but that's where I lean on Christ and my family. So,
was the most magical moment of the Super Bowl that ball hitting the ground after Tom Brady's Hail Mary, or Kevin Hart being removed from the stage at the trophy ceremony?
They were both great.
They're both hilarious. I mean, they're one super emotional. Like, you know what? You know what's honestly crazy, and I'm so bummed because I'd love to meet him. I have yet to meet Kevin Hart. And I
started comedy with him,
I love Kevin Hart. I think he's hilarious. Always have. I was so busy. After the game, like I didn't get to know any of that or see any of that till like I got home after Disney, and then someone said it, and I'm like, "What? Like I missed that? Like Kevin Hart? No way! Like I would have loved just to shake his hand and say what's up. Like it's Kevin Hart.
I think it's doable now.
Yeah, I mean I put it out there so he knows.
Here, to me, this is when before the game, I'm like, okay, if Brady suddenly shows his age, we got a real shot here. But Tom Brady had one of the greatest games of all time. And you beat him. That's the amazing thing to me. That's the thing that we're going to remember more as years go by because we're still kind of high on this. But the fact that Brady was unbelievable that day.
I mean, Tom showed who Tom is. I mean, greatest of all time. He's a tremendous player. I mean, we're not going to take that away from him. I hate
not taking it away from him.
Yeah, I mean,
I have. You have to
Chris
say
Long gave it to you.
But, no, yeah. I mean, I'll take it from Chris Long. No, but I think that. The big thing was going into that game, we knew who we were playing against. We have all the respect in the world for him. And my mindset going into that game was literally, and you hear it all the time, one play at a time. But like people have a lot of trouble doing that because you want to score 100 points at once, but you can only score 6. And then you can decide what you want to do because we go for 2 sometimes, But I think the big thing, I didn't look at the clock much. Only clock I worried about was just the play clock, just because I need to do it for all my different things. But like the game clock, I wasn't worried about it. I was like, it has no effect on me right now. Like unless it's a timeout and it's like a situation for the Philly special or something, like we don't need it. And it was more of my basketball mind approach where my dad always told me like, don't worry about the clock, don't worry about the score, just play as hard as you can until the clock runs out. And I took that approach. It was the first time I've really taken that exact approach in a football game because it was I knew I would have to. I knew I would have to give it everything I had and make tremendous plays, and we'd have to play out of our minds to compete against the best. And you know what? It was really relaxing playing that way. It was not worrying about the time on the clock, just playing one play, like a play's called, and that's all you're worried about, and you can genuinely do that. There's something like honestly therapeutic about it, and I just got to keep telling myself to do that because you do go out there and just start playing again. So it's something that...
Well, it's interesting when they started kind of like stampeding back, and you're like, oh, here... Because we're watching the game with everybody sitting there going like, of course, this is what happens. I'm supposed to be sad at the end of this day.
You're so happy at once, and then you're like, golly.
And then you would just you looked like... almost like it's like, oh, is it us? And that's our time to go in. Yeah, you go in and then just run down and score again. Like it was crazy.
And I was never letting the score dictate the way I was going to make decisions or play. Because as quarterbacks, you can always, every single one, if they're honest, will say that the score does sometimes dictate how they play. Because if you're down by a lot, you start forcing things, you start trying to make too big of plays. I've been there, I've done that, and you typically. When you're playing that way, you don't play well. But when you just chip away, you just stay in the moment, you play, you can come back. You can keep grinding, and you're not going to be stressed out. You're not going to be making bad decisions. So I'm glad, that was the team approach. We were just going to keep taking punches. We were going to keep giving punches, and,
Do you look at the press when it's coming? Because, when you first came in to start the season, you know, there's a couple of shaky games in there, and then of course everyone jumps right to the gun, like, oh, this is when the season falls apart. To keep your head on straight and just to, you know, it was a little inconsistent, and then to just start playing like at a crazy high level like that. Like, do you avoid the press?
So I mean, we have press conferences, so that would be the only time that I'm aware of what's being said because I have to answer the questions and I can sort of read between the lines. And, you know, the play against Oakland and, you know, even the last quarter against Dallas, like, wasn't the best play. It wasn't, you know, the best games I've played in by any means. But we had a bye week, and it was really a time to just sort of relax, like, sort of digest what had happened the month previous, because it was a lot, and it was just action-packed. And I remember, you know, I had, you know, a lot of conversation with my wife, but then a conversation with my dad that really resonated with me. You know, we were having a heart-to-heart, and he was just talking about the situation. He reads it. He knows what's going on, and he holds it in. He doesn't really share much. But what he did say was, you know, I've watched you play your entire life, and if anyone can show, like, come out of this and come on top and show them what they got, it's you, because you've always done it. And I say that because that was a father, you know, believing in his son when his son was probably one of the most criticized people in sports at the time, because you're about to let this opportunity slip through Philly's hands. And, you know, that sort of was like, all right. And then, you know, coaches put together a highlight reel of like some big time throws I made. So I was able to sort of look at that and take a step back, and we were able to do a game plan that was really fitting for me. And then we were able to put it all together. But it was by people believing in me and being there with me that helped me through it.
Jay, we got to let
I know.
Nick
Yeah, there's the signal.
Sell his book here. Believe it. Congratulations.
And 100% of what Tori and I receive, we give away. So we're not taking a cent for it, just so people know. We're giving it to local charities.
We'll take some.
Yeah, local churches. You know, radio show hosts, comedians, you know.
Just not Black Lou.
Combative. Thanks so much,
over
buddy.
here.
It was amazing, amazing ride. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
hey, love the Eagles gear, and thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Pleasure.
Nick
Coles.
Thank y'all. Seriously.